Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I hope that everyone is doing well out there. Let me make sure my sound is off here as we get this started. Okay. I see Marianne is here. Norma is here. Sorry. My throat was fine until I started the live. Let me take a drink, try and ease that up. How's everyone doing? Sorry, I'm a little late tonight. I just kind of got in the door and had a few things I had to take care of here. And then I was trying to go live with Restream, a different streaming service, because we never get comments here. And I guess StreamYard knew that because the comments are popping up right now. they're actually showing up at the very beginning here of this broadcast, which never happens anymore. So it may have caught on that we're going to replace you if you don't act right. So we are thinking of ways to do streaming. Andrew is talking about this a little bit, that we may stream directly from the various services, stream directly from YouTube, stream directly from Facebook, because we think possibly there's a possibility that they are dampening or not showing sometimes when we stream through another service to them. I don't know if that's the case, but it seems like if we go directly to the source, we often have higher numbers. So I don't know. We're gonna play around with that. Marianne said, "I just got my AG shipment. Nice. I'm glad it arrived okay. Hope everything's good there. If you're out there, please say hi. Hopefully, we'll have a trollless day today, but we'll see. I hope yesterday wasn't the start of anything anywhere near the average way of doing things. If you tuned in yesterday, you know what I mean. But yeah, if you're out there, please say hi. I know there are some people that watch that never say hi, and I guess that's okay if you just want to hang out with us. But it's nice to know you're here. It's always nice to know, and you can make friends by hanging out in the comments with all of our friends out there. I'm going to put the comments on the screen since we seem to be getting them, which is kind of nice. So let me go ahead and do that. Hopefully that doesn't stop all the comments from coming. Sometimes I feel like when I turn that on, I don't want to mess with anything. But I did start trying to go into Restream, but I could not. We canceled that account. We still have a free account, but we canceled the payment plan on that. And they won't let you stream to a Facebook page without paying, but you can pay a lot less than we're paying on StreamYard to do possibly the same thing. So we'll see. Just a simple hi is all that's required. I know, right? Just say hi. Just say hi, y'all. Don't be afraid. You don't have to get too involved, but it would be nice to have you say hi if you're out there. So today's been a busy day for me. Mostly got ready to hang out with my mom a little bit today. Sorry. We I took her to drop off her truck. She has some electrical issues in the truck, so I followed her to drop that off to the place where she has the electrical work done. And it's an old truck. I don't know what year it is. I think it's a 90 something. And I think it's from the 90s. And it's in really good shape. It might be maybe a 91. It was my grandfather's old truck. He took very good care of it. And then she kind of inherited it when they passed away, and now she has it, but it's always had some electrical weird things. And they're trying to 1991 says hey mom says just tuned in. Yeah, I thought it was a 91. I thought that's what you said earlier today. And it's a Dodge, and it gets some looks where it goes because it is in really good shape. and generally runs well. And that's what she has the plow and stuff on, so that they can help us get plowed out. It's our cottage studio, apparently, right? See, Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. Thanks for joining us. Marion says a vintage truck then. Yes, definitely a vintage. Technically antique, right? Is it antique? 91, 2001, 2021, 2001, 2011, 2021, 30 years, antique. Technically, I guess it's an antique. Because vehicles are usually, I think, 30 years or what makes them an antique, I think. Um, Susan's here. Hello, Susan. Thank you for being here. Mom says, hey, all. Norma's saying hi to everybody. My mom says, yep, she knows the antique cars. Dan says, I think that's considered antique for a car. Yeah, so it's an antique truck, still runs really well, except there's some electrical stuff. So followed her out today to take it to drop off for the electrical. And then we had a nice little lunch. We went to a restaurant, had some lunch. By the way, Andrew, if you're watching, there's an omelet in the fridge for you, and some other things if you want those. And so then after that, we had lunch, dropped her off at her house, played with her cat a little bit. Her cat was out. And then I came back home, picked up some pellets, gave our cat some snacks while I was here, said hi to them a little bit, and then ran back up to the cottage to work on some packing and shipping, and filled up the pellet stove, worked on some packing and shipping, and started pulling some things for the live tonight. I have some random things tonight. I don't know. I was going through some drawers, and I don't know if I will. I won't show everything because I pulled too much for one night's live. We only do 30 lots anymore, generally a night. But we had a really good time with the loose gemstones last night. People seem to really like that. So I tried to pull some other ones, except when I got home, Andrew was just getting up because he had just gone to bed when I was leaving today, and I didn't get to talk with him about what some of these stones are. So I can't show you the ones that I don't know. But we'll do those maybe tomorrow. I'll talk with him a little bit and we'll identify some things. And I didn't get to use any time to research any of them. I was just starting to grab stuff. So I'm going to show you what I know, and then we'll maybe have some more later. But thank you all to those of you who grabbed some loose gemstones and loose stuff yesterday. That was really nice. Diane's here. Hello, Diane. Says, I'm kind of up and moving. Good, good, good. I was going to check in on you, but I saw you liking some posts. So I'm like, probably fine. Just got to give her some time. So that's great to hear from you. I hope everything is going well. I hope recovery is going well. PT is going well, I hope. I'm glad to see your name up here again. We've been sending you good vibes. So that is, what else is happening? That happened. I went to the grocery store after I was packing and shipping and gathering stuff for the live. Ran real quick down to the grocery store. I picked up some frozen pizzas, but the good kind. The sorry, the imported from Italy, no preservatives. They were on sale, so I grabbed those. I grabbed some salads. Those little bag salads, they're so good. I like the Asian ones, um, but they didn't have any more of those. So I got what I get? Sweet corn. I think it's a sweet corn dressing. And I've had that before and I really liked it. So I grabbed those. I grabbed some fruit. I've been making fruit salads in the evenings for us to try and keep us away from too many goodies and snacks and stuff. So been trying to stay away from too much of that. But Andrew did make us a really good apple cake last night, and so we indulged a little bit in cake, but it was really good. And there's still some. Well, there was some left. I didn't get some today yet because I've been rushing around. So we'll see. I know Andrew's down there now. He might be finishing up the cake. Nancy said, "Did you remember buns?" Didn't have to get buns today. We're out of stuff that can fit on buns, so we're all good there. Um, let's see. Marion says, "My favorite bag salad is sesame wonton." I've not seen that, but it's probably very similar to what they call the Asian one here, because it is a sesame. It's a sesame dressing with wontons and I think shaved almonds in there. Um, and so it's probably the same thing. That's our favorite one. But the one is called, I think, sweet corn or sometimes Mexican street corn, depending on which brand you get. And it's a really good one too. So that's what I picked up for today. So pizza, salad, and fruit salad for us today, I think is going to be what we're going to have, unless Andrew decides to make something else. But what Andrew made yesterday, because we were talking about this, um, because we didn't have much because I didn't get the buns and we didn't make sandwiches again. So Andrew took the chicken patties, the fake chicken patties that we had, and made them, cut them up, and then took the bag salads that we had and took those and sauteed the cabbage and the vegetables that were in the bag salads and made pot stickers. He made his own dough, the wrappers, made his own wrappers, pot sticker wrappers, and created pot stickers like from scratch, which is kind of wild to me. And it was really good. They didn't quite work out exactly. Pot stickers, I never understood why they were called pot stickers, but apparently, you're supposed to like heat them until they kind of burn, not burn on the bottom, I guess burn on the bottom, char on the bottom, but then they're supposed to release from the pan. Like once you get enough charring on it, they're supposed to self-release. Um, Ours did not self-release. So our nonstick pan, is kind of it's okay, but it's a very old pan. And so the nonstick did not quite nonstick enough. Um, and really, I think maybe if we used the iron skillet or something, it would have maybe, but I say we, like I had anything to do with it. He was working on that himself. But we just well, he just scraped them off, and he made these, each one was like this big, giant filled pot sticker. They were so good. And so um, we had that for dinner last night, and it was really good. And then I made a fruit salad for us, and then he made apple cake, and it was really good too. So that's what we had. We're gonna have pizza, salad, and fruit salad, and who knows, maybe apple cake again or some kind of cake. I got these uh, Cosmic Crisp apples were on sale today, and I usually like Cosmic Crisp. Um, apples are sometimes when they're not in season, they're not great. They're mealy and so I'm hoping these are good. But these apples, I kid you not, are like this big. They're gigantic apples. So I got those, and I got some, I think Fiji as well. I like Fiji apples. I think that's what I got, and whatever's on sale generally. And so got those, and I was just surprised. Even the person doing the checking out at the grocery store, they were like, "These are giant apples." Susan says, "Cosmic Crisp apples are yummy." Yeah, they are. And I've never seen them this big. Normally, there's like a regular apple size like this. These are like giant. Um, I've never seen them that big. So yeah, that was fun. Anyway, oh, and earlier, was that today or yesterday? Yesterday, I think I got my prescription. Did I do that today? I can't even remember. All the days are running together. Suzanne's here. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. I also picked up bird seed earlier this morning for my mom to deliver some bird seed. I swear, my throat has not done this all day. I was talking to my mom all day in the morning, and now I'm like singing at the cottage and talking back to the TV at the cottage, and my throat does not do that. And now I get here and I go on live, and now I can't talk. Uh, Nancy's Honey Crisp are my go-to for snacking. Yeah, Honey Crisps are very good too. They're expensive right now. Um, I mean, they're like $3.99 a pound instead of $1.99 a pound. So, but I did get, they were on sale the other day. I got Honey Crisps the other day and they were good. I do usually like Honey Crisps. I had a bad experience with one time. I bought a bunch and they were very mealy and not honey and not crisp, even though they felt nice and solid and all that. So that kind of turned me off of them for a while. But I tried them again the other day when they were on sale and they were good. Um, my mom says, "Yeah, you were good all day, right?" I know. And now I like, I don't know. Ever since I got like that cold when I was in Italy, I have had extra like like that kind of stuff going on. And I don't know why. It surprise attacks me every once in a while. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Thank you for joining us. Um, yeah. So that was my day. It's like a whirlwind. I have no idea. Like, I barely made it back home in time because I lost track of time because it was just like, I have no idea what's going on. So that's what's happening. And yeah, things are good though. A lot of people grabbed a lot of the loose gemstones last night. There are still a lot left though. So if you have not grabbed anything or you didn't see the live from yesterday, please go back and check that out because there are a lot of good things still available to you all. I haven't put them away yet. Some people claimed overnight and I've invoiced for all that, but I haven't sorted them out yet. So that's why they're still here. So now's a good time to get them before I throw them in a bag and put them with the other inventory. So that'll be good if you want to check it out. And tomorrow, remember, our live is at 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow because I have my pottery class on Wednesdays. So please do tune in then instead of 7:30 p.m. And yeah, so we decided yesterday that we would rerun our rock and mineral vault sale this coming weekend in Johnstown. So if you missed last weekend's sale because of the cold or because of the Gob Fest or because of the No Buy Friday, then we're going to run it again. So we're going to have all the rocks and stuff on display again this weekend in Johnstown at the shop. We are open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So please come by and check all that good stuff out. We've got lots of good rocks and minerals and fossils and specimens. So um, please come and hang out with us at at the store. And yeah. And then if you are local and you're watching this, we are coordinating with Balance Restaurant in Johnstown to have a Galentine's Day night on February 13th. So if you would like to come on to Johnstown February 13th and get some great food and then take a bracelet making class with me, please do. Sign up today. You can do signups. We have a shared event. You can either go to Balance's page or our page on Facebook. Go to our events tab, check out the event. The link to purchase the tickets, you'll purchase them through them. The link to purchase them is there. Sign up today so we know how many people we're expecting. It is so incredibly important, especially for food vendors, right? I used to work in a restaurant, help run a restaurant. It is so important that you sign up early for these things so that the kitchen can properly purchase, inventory to make the meal and make enough of it. So there's going to be a nice buffet. And so you will eat, I think it starts at 6 o'clock. You will eat. And then I think around 6:45 or so, we're going to start the jewelry making and we'll teach you how to make a bracelet. And you can come with your friends, hang out, and make some fun stuff. So yeah, it should be fun. So that'll be February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. And get together with your pals and come on down and make some jewelry with us. Suzanne says tomorrow I'm getting a new tattoo. Oh, what are you getting this time, Suzanne? What's coming up? I always like hearing what your tattoos are going to be. Um, yeah. So how's everybody else? What are you all doing out there? We're thinking about a lot of different things here. You may have seen some of Andrew's posts, different things we're thinking of doing, different ways we're doing things, and different climates lead to different things. And right now, um, we're experiencing some reduced views and um, reduced what's the word? They're not showing us to as many people anymore, and it's happening on Andrew's timeline. It's happening on the Allegory timeline was down, I think last week, by about 29% or something like that. Someone else also mentioned that lately their numbers have been down, and these are stats that they actually give you. They tell you what your um, not your viewership, but your reach. They call it reach. Um, and that's how far out and how many people they show you to. We have about 8,700 people who follow us, and we definitely are not seen by those people, the majority of those people. So we're thinking of different ways. Like I said at the beginning of this, we might go live directly on StreamYard, or I mean, directly on Facebook and not use StreamYard and other vendors like that. That makes it a little more complicated though, because it's harder to stream to multiple places without having a computer with you all the time. And we do have a computer with us at all times generally, but having multiple cameras and things like that, sometimes it gets a little complicated. So we'll see. This just makes it super easy, but if it is, decreasing our reach, that's not great. But we've been using StreamYard for a while, and this sudden decrease is not it's not because of that necessarily, but we don't know if this has been an issue all the way along because, platforms don't always like when you use other services to use them, right? Sandra says that was me. Yeah, other people are seeing decreased reaches for no reason. Like you feel like you're doing the same or more work and being seen less. So that's just something that's going on in the background. If you've seen Andrew's posts, we're working on and thinking of ways that we can do things differently. Maybe it feels like you're always like we talk about this a lot because it's always a thing, right? They're always changing things to make it a little bit like, I don't know why they're trying to keep you on your toes. I feel like it would be best for everyone if they just gave you a way to do things. Here's the best way, and then you can do that, right? Like whether the best way is to stream directly, if Facebook told us that the best way to be seen is to stream directly with our app or something, like they just said that, they just came out and said that, then we would know, right? Then we could do that. Instead of trying to flip and change and make people figure things out, like how does that benefit anyone? I don't understand it. Like, give me the way to do it and let us do what we're trying to do, right? That feels like that would be easy. Like that's typically how things work, right? I don't understand why they try to make it hard or change things up or make you figure out what's the best way to get seen. Like just tell us and let us do that. Um, and then like if it like that would I would happily be more involved in the ecosystem if I knew that there was a benefit to that, right? You want me involved even more in Facebook and the app, then tell me that's the way to do it and then prove that it's working. And then that's fine. Like, I just don't understand. Um, anyway, anyway, Suzanne says bat with candy corn. That's kind of really cool. Um, even though I don't like candy corn, I like that idea though. That's totally Halloween, right? Um, I don't like candy corn itself, but I like the image of candy corn. It's weird. Because I think it's a cool image and I've seen it done. I've not really seen it done on many tattoos, but it does like it evokes that time period. Um, I'm just not a fan of the actual candy, but that's really cool. Um, let's see here. Uh, Susan says, sorry, Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. CDT. I don't know what that means. What is that about? Um, what I miss? I may have missed something. Trying to scroll back, but I don't see anything. Len says, I'm trying to leave Meta. I've definitely made my footprint smaller as they are using our data to train their AI. They also lost 7 billion with Metaverse and are laying everyone off. Yes, they went really hard into the Metaverse and then they backtracked real quick, I feel like. And they did a lot of hiring, they invested a lot of money, and then they started laying people off. 70 billion, I bet. Yeah, I don't know the numbers, but I know it was a heck of a lot. Um, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard all the way around. You start to see the writing on the wall for some things, and you start to wonder what's going to last and what's not going to last. Right now, our platform, our biggest platform, is Facebook. We've moved over to YouTube a lot. A lot of you watch us on YouTube, and we're thankful for that. It helps split things up. But yeah, it's hard. See my earlier post about beloved community radio station. I didn't see any comment come up. Let me scroll back. What I miss? Um, no, there's no comment on my screen about. Nope, not from the very beginning. So I don't know. I didn't see a comment about it. Sorry. I just scroll back. I don't see anything. But yeah, let me see if it just didn't come up maybe on StreamYard. Am I missing some comments? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Norma says, I don't see it either, Susan. Yeah, I don't see it there. Maybe the comment didn't come through for some reason. I don't see, I'm trying to look here now to see if any comments, sometimes it automatically blocks comments, but I don't see any of those either. Yeah, so, you know, I know all of these companies, they are all taking our data. It's just, I mean, there are ones that do not, but any of the ones that are in it as a public facing company that are trying to make money in the stock market for their shareholders, they are in it. They are taking our data. That is just the way it is. And, I'm not, I don't want to say I'm like, if you're going to use my data, on the things that I like, at least make it good for me. Like tailor things to me. I'm not so, I'm not, I know it's a thing. It's going to happen. It's hard to get away from. If you want to interact with people in any kind of meaningful way, and I know, Len, you've had an issue of with this in the past, like how do you communicate with people? And if you want to communicate with people, it's hard to be away from those things. And and the whole political climate, that's a whole other thing. Even on top of all that, AI is another thing on top of all of that. It is difficult. um, but a lot of the tech industry is going a lot of the same way, in a lot of things. And um, it's it's hard. And like Andrew is looking at ways that maybe he can move some of his more lengthy writing or some of the research and things that he posts to a place where it's better suited for that. He was talking about maybe moving some of his longer posts and more meaningful things and research and stuff over to Patreon or Substack. I follow some people on Substack. Um, and we've reserved accounts on Substack for like I have one. We did one for Allegory. We use Blue Sky. Sometimes I stopped using it because it's just I can't post to 18 social media places every day, every post. But hey, May, thanks for joining us. Um, but it's really it's difficult to figure out what you can do and what works best and what's going to be the next best thing. And so, we're trying to do what we can do, and we're always open to when we ask, hearing what people think. And Andrew does ask sometimes, like what social media things are best and what people would watch or would sign up for or wouldn't sign up for. Um, and when we ask for those things, we're always looking for input because we don't always catch things, right? There are things going on in the world. I like tech. I try to stay up on it as much as I can, but we've got a business to run. And so, as much as I like staying up with some of that, I don't always uh, see the new things that are happening and the new things that are out there. But also, if you grab onto every new thing, um, 96% of it does not catch on. I don't know how many different social media accounts we've had with various things that have just never really caught on. And maybe they'll become a niche little thing, and a number of users will really hardcore use them. But so far, Meta, for all that it has against it and for all that sometimes good, not so good things, it is it controls most of our social media. um Facebook and Instagram are still generally where things are, and while a lot of people have moved away, um there has not been that final push to move into anything that challenges that, or um, really, really kind of can upset that yet. Um, that's why I was very upset when when they bought Instagram. I didn't understand why that was allowed to go through, but they did, and they haven't, and that's where we are these days. Susan says, "Well, my community radio is back like a phoenix. It's internet only for now. My friend is back doing his Wednesday night show, Juxtaposition. Well, what is it? Tell us the. How do we find it? Put the put the link. Put the call numbers. Whatever they call them, call numbers, right? Call tag. What call numbers? Um, how do you find it? What do I have to tell my virtual assistants to play so that I can hear it?" Um, um, Lena says, "Yep, Discord, Mastodon, etc. is still not a good replacement." No, and it's sad. Like I had real high hopes for Mastodon. We signed up for that, and I thought because it was going to be a decentralized thing, maybe this could be an awesome thing. Um, and it just kind of petered out as far as like a lot of people jumped to it, and I was using it for a while, but just was not catching on. Like not enough even of our like AGB fam were over there. We get a few. Blue Sky's the same way. I used to post on Blue Sky quite a bit. Didn't really happen. We went to TikTok a little bit, but I'm not even messing with that now. Uh, that kind of is completely off the radar at this point with everything going on. Even though some of our friends had some good times with it, I don't know what it's been like for people since the new buyout, the forced buyout of that. So yeah, it's hard. Um, May says, "I had Instagram before the sale." I did too, and uh, I was sad the day that happened because um, you want good competitors. Instagram was a good competitor. It wasn't the same thing at all, but it was something different. Um, and it gave you an actually solid option. Like, it got big enough for Facebook to want it, for Meta to want it. Um, and so that was a competitor. And there hasn't been anything like that. I mean, TikTok kind of was like that, right? In a lot of ways, but because of lots of stuff, they couldn't acquire that one. But um, yeah, it's really hard. It's really difficult. And with things going the way they are, just moving to any platform right now, it's hard. It's hard. Lena, Len says, not a good enough art jewelry scene on Blue Sky yet. I followed everybody. Yeah, I was posting on Blue Sky. I kind of gave up on that because we barely get any. And I know you got to keep going with stuff, but when you're looking at like Mastodon, Blue Sky, um, I was trying to post on Substack, TikTok, Facebook, what's there were a few others. Like I was posting on 5 to 6 places every time I made a post. And that takes a lot of time. You don't think so, but opening the app, getting in, making the post, putting up the picture, waiting for it to post, and then doing that for the next app. And then remembering that you have to do this for like 5 or 6 apps. It was not easy. We used to have a post scheduler, and that helps things, but a lot of these services weren't tied into it. I don't know if they are now, but they weren't tied into it then. So you couldn't just make one post and be done. And so it does make it harder. And it's Len says social media is a second full-time job. It is. It is a second full-time job on top of just trying to run our business, get things shipped out to people, and try to keep things afloat. Really, it's a lot. It's a lot. Really, I think every small business, it would be perfect if every small business actually needs somebody who can do their social media. Most of them can't afford it. We can't afford to have somebody separate do our social media. But technically, you know, that is probably a position that is needed by just about every small business, is to have somebody that is in tune with social media and knows what they're doing and can do that. Because not only like our social media, I don't want to say it's bad. It's not. I don't think we are different. We are what we are, and we are. I think we try to show who we are, but we don't have the tailored, like everything is this certain filter and everything is taken with these certain things in a photo, or a certain look to everything that we do, because we don't have. I don't have that time. I don't have that time to do it. And maybe it would be better if I took that time to do things. But, it's one of those things that it is important, but you can, I would rather make sure that our customer service is good rather than me spend like 2 hours a day on a photo that I take. And so, it's gives and takes and pluses and minuses. And it is hard. And it is a lot of work. May says Facebook Marketplace seems to be the favorite place for art bead vendors. Thank goodness I don't have Facebook. I would be broke. I have not seen a lot of people on Facebook Marketplace as far as our art bead friends, but that's interesting to hear. Um, that's really interesting. I did not realize that. Maybe I should have. I'm not on Facebook Marketplace very much, to be 100% um, uh, truthful. I don't look at it very often. Andrew looks at it quite a lot because he finds good deals on there. I do not. I don't. Um, that's not in my. It's not in my purview. My daily thing. May says you guys have great social media presence. We can find you on many platforms. That is one thing. That is one thing. We do try to make sure you can find us in multiple places. I don't always post as much in all those places, but if I do see people, I log in, I try to check things out. If I see people starting to interact more with us somewhere, I do try to pick up and do more. But we try to be on, as much of the big ones as we can. And we do our best as, a two-person business. I get emails often that, say, "Hey, William," like I got one today that says, "Hey, William," or helpers. We don't have helpers. I wish we did. It's just me and Andrew. And so, hopefully down the line, as hopefully things get better and that gets better. We at a point we did have shipping helpers, we did have people who helped out in the store. Um, and I hate to blame things on the pandemic, but the pandemic crushed a lot of that. And that's when we started seeing prices go up for things, and we're trying to not, raise prices any more than we need to, but um, I have been seeing some of the things that people are finding, and the prices on things that people have been finding um, are, you know, the biggest trend I'm seeing right now, in some of our friends who are showing things, is 8-inch strands for what 16-inch strands used to cost. And that is what, like, it's getting to the point where I'm wondering if 8-inch is going to be the new strand size. I've been seeing it a lot. Um, and I don't know if that's just a temporary thing. I don't know if that's, I'm hoping. I know over the pandemic, strands went from about a solid, 16-inch strand down to about 13 or 14, sometimes 12. Um, And now I'm starting to see a lot of people selling 8-inch strands for what you would used to just a year or two ago um, pay, for a full 16 or 14-inch strand. Marion says, as long as you don't give up cat time. I know, gotta have cat time. Gotta definitely have cat time. May says, I only saw that Instagram when they mentioned their sales. Um, Len says they seem like they're trying to find a way to monetize Facebook better and tank selling not on marketplace unless they get a piece of the pie. ID stash and the DMs kept disappearing makes it difficult. Yeah, it's I don't even care. Like, we have a store technically on Facebook. I have a hard time figuring out, like, there's a store on Instagram and a store on Facebook. I have tried many, many, many times to change up that store. Um, but every time I try, it does not work. Like, it does not hold. Like, you'll move things around and you'll change things, and you hit save. It doesn't save. It doesn't change. So if you shop our Facebook or Instagram stores, you may notice it doesn't change very often. It's because I can't get it to. There's and I don't know if it's just our account, my account. I'm pretty good with this stuff. Um, but it's very difficult to make it work. And I don't care if they want to take a cut. Like, I'm like, we're on their stores. If they want to take a little cut of the sale to actually push our store to people, do it. I'm like, I am fine with that. But it's like, sometimes the decisions they make, and I know they're not making decisions with us in mind, or, a lot of small businesses in mind. They're making decisions with them in mind. But um, Sandra says, I thought that was based on Shopify, though. Sometimes it does. Once we move to Shopify, yes, it pulls things through Shopify, but sometimes it does not pull things or let me change the featured things or whatever I want in the carousels that they have. Yeah, it's not great. Maybe it's better. I haven't looked at it in like the last few weeks. Maybe something has changed, but generally I've set it and I let it do its thing. We do get some orders from Instagram and Facebook every once in a while, and I'm like, okay, then let's do that. But um, I know they also want us to pay for ads to do that. I'm like, just take a portion of the sales and then show us to people. Like, I'm happy, I'm fine with that. But you know, um, Suzanne says strands are getting shorter. They are. They are definitely getting shorter. Norma says there's a Facebook store. News to me. There used to be, at least. It may be more on Instagram now. I don't know. It it's it's one of those things. We did have a Facebook and Instagram store. I don't know if the Facebook store is still there or if they've bundled it all under Instagram now. Um, that's the thing. It's yeah. Um, but it really does just uh it is supposed to just pull information from our Shopify store, and present it to you in a way that Facebook thinks you'll want to see it or Instagram thinks you want to see it. And um, it is supposed to know, it's supposed to kind of know your preferences and present things to you that it thinks you would like from our store, I guess. And maybe that's why they're not letting you mess around with it as much, because it is just supposed to do that. But yeah, haven't seen on Instagram one either. Yeah, I think if you go to our Instagram profile, I think there's a shop tab right there. And I don't know if there is on Facebook. I can't look right now, but if you go through the Facebook app or the Instagram app and go to our profile, there's a shop tab. Um, and I think one of the reasons I can't control it as much as I used to is because they've taken away some of that control, because they are trying to base it on what they think your shopping habits are and what you might like from what we supply. But I don't think they know beads very well. So that's a whole other thing. Anyway, lots of lot, there's there this is just like one little thing in all that we try to do to try to keep things going and figure out what is happening on social media, right? Like I said, I think it would be better for everyone if they just told you, we would like you to do it this way, and then we could do it that way. And then we'd be seen by, more of our followers that actually say they want to follow us. And maybe they'd actually see something from us. But instead, crickets some days and less than crickets some other days. So it's interesting, but it's always kind of been this way. Well, it hasn't always. Um, in the beginning, I feel like you actually saw your friends on Facebook and saw the things you followed pretty often. But um, now it's all about, do we pay? No, we don't pay for it, so we don't get seen as much. Um, and said, yeah, that's why my friend quit Meta. Yeah, you know, lots of friends are quitting. Um, but that's where supposedly that's where we're seen the most. I don't know if it's true anymore. Um, but yeah, you know, but we've got ideas and we're working on more ideas. And that's a day in the life of a small business. And we just talk about these things, maybe too much. I don't know. Um, oh, Lynn says no, he was an employee. Yeah, that makes sense too. That makes sense too. Uh, yeah, so, I know a lot of people don't talk about this and they're not as honest about this because they want people to think that everything is fine and dandy, um and some days they are and some days they're not, and we thank you for hanging out and being here with us and understanding that these things happen, and anyway, yeah. How's everybody else doing out there? Uh what are y'all planning for your evenings? We watched Bridgerton yesterday. Too much. Not too much. There's never too much Bridgerton, but I was up too late. I was up too late, because I had to get up earlier and kind of get myself ready, to meet my mom today. And luckily we didn't schedule that until about noon, so I had some time to sleep in a little bit and um kind of recoup, but I only got a few hours of sleep last night because um Bridgerton, I hate, I'm really not liking when networks now are doing like 4 or 5 episodes and then they give you like a whole month you have to wait until the next batch of episodes comes out. That makes me crazy. And that's what Bridgerton did. Um, so they did that and we watched them, and then there's not going to be another one until I think the 28th of February or something like that. So now we've got to wait. I'm like, just do them every week then. I don't know. Like I don't understand why that break happens. Um like I get the weekly thing. They want you to sign in, they want you to buy that service for that month, and then every week you're going to get a new one, right? And then they they keep you involved, right? If you have to, it comes out every week, that's at least 8 weeks. Usually there's at least 8 episodes. If there's 10 or 12, that's like 2 to 3 months. They're going to get you to sign up for that service. That to me is smart, right? Um, and I know you could wait until the end and just sign up and watch them all and then cancel your service. Sometimes we do that. We'll buy a service for a month, binge a show or something, and we only have to pay for 1 month of it. It's kind of nice you can do that. But when they do this, it is just like you could do it 1 month and then maybe you'll get another month out of it. Maybe. I don't know. Um, it just seems weird. Um, Suzanne says, we had coconut chicken again. Do you want the recipe, the sauce recipe? The faux chicken just simmers it. Yes, send it, send it. We love when you all send us recipes. Please do. Um, Andrew says, I start forgetting things when they do that. Yeah, when you take this month-long break in between, um, it's just so weird. And then I forget things, you forget things. It's bad enough it's week to week I forget things, but it's like it's like between seasons. I know it's not as long, but it's so strange. Um May says Stranger Things schedule was crazy for me. Yeah, they did that too. They did that like multiple times, didn't they? And then they had a theatrical release. I didn't even know they were releasing it in the theater. Some of our friends said they went to watch the last episode in the theater. I didn't even know they were doing that. So, but I'm not that in tune with things, with the shows and I'm not at all. Andrew keeps track of some of that stuff. He keeps track of where things are and what we're watching because I zone out sometimes and forget everything. But yeah, Stranger Things was a very weird release too, I feel like. So, but yeah, that's that. Um, but that coconut chicken sounds delicious, Suzanne. It sounds really good. Um, I do love coconut chicken. Um, Coconut shrimp, coconut chicken. I love the coconut stuff. Um, Marianne says, I just can't get into Bridgerton. Well, we are. We're in it. We're in it. Except Andrew kept asking me questions last night. He's like, didn't this and what happened to this person? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even remember that person. I'm very bad. I'm terrible. Um, Maybe if I stop saying that I'm terrible, it'll get better, but I don't think it'll get better. Um, yeah, it was. Um, I don't commit things like shows to memory very often. I have to watch them a number of times to commit things to memory, and it's strange, but that's the way it is. I think it's because by the end of the day, we only watch TV at the end of the day, and usually when we're eating, and sometimes it's just in the background while we're doing other work. But when I can focus on it, I think I'm just so done with the day that I don't even keep track of it anymore. Like I'm watching it for the entertainment value and kind of to shut my brain down. And that's it. Um, I'm not watching it like I'm going to be tested on it for sure. Um, let's see here. May says, I found out about the theatrical release late as well. Yeah, I didn't even know. Andrew says, I know you didn't get much sleep, but it was nice to unplug to binge the show. Yeah, we kind of unplugged. We binged it. Um, I think did we watch all the episodes in one night? Which is crazy, but we did. And I think I think it was up till 5 o'clock in the morning, which was insane, y'all. I know usually like 2 to 4, I usually go to bed between 2 and 4 a.m. It's usually closer to 2, sometimes even 1. 5, and then I had to get up early to get ready for things. I probably got 4 hours of sleep last. I took a nap is pretty much what it is. I took a nap, but it was nice to kind of binge that out and just kind of enjoy that time, not thinking too much about stuff. Norma says, I couldn't get into it either, Marianne. I don't know how. I love it. It's a good show. I like it. Andrew says, I know you don't always remember, but I think by talking about it, it jogs my memory. Yeah, I mean, you remember a lot of it, and it does start coming up for you. I just really don't remember. Um, and I'm terrible. I am better visually, which is, we were talking about this the other day with somebody. We watched all TV with subtitles. And I think one of the reasons, like, I never used to do that, but I am better when I can see things. When I learn language, I've tried programs where it's just like auditory, Pimsleur's does that. And it does work for me after a while because they do it so many times and it's repetition in different ways. But it makes me a little bit wild in my head when I can't know how it's spelled or. And so I realized that when I studied language, I was very much, I needed to see it written. And that really helped me. I wasn't just somebody who could just listen to it. Some people are more auditory like that and they can listen to it. They don't need to see it. Um, Also, I guess if they don't want to have to spell or they just want to speak, but I always liked seeing it. And so, a lot of times when Andrew asks me questions, I really don't know because for one, I zone out and I don't remember much. But I also, when he'll talk about somebody, if I don't see a picture of them, I have no idea. Like I can't. Maybe it would jog my memory a little bit more if I saw a picture of them, but other than that, yeah, it's one of those things. But he's always got questions, and I'm like, I feel so bad because I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember at all. I don't know. But his memory is much better than mine. Um, and there's no two ways about that. His memory is just better than mine. For that kind of stuff anyway. Um, Let's see. May says America's Test Kitchen tested vegan chicken nuggets and the Impossible brand won. I'm very tempted to try them. I've had the Impossible brand chicken nuggets. They're okay. I don't know. I used to really love the corn, Quorn, corn chicken nuggets. Um, but they don't sell them in our grocery store anymore. So can't, or maybe if they, I don't think they do. Um, so I can't actually get them anymore. The Impossible ones are pretty good though. Andrew says we didn't start until just before midnight, and we took a break in the middle to make cake and fruit salad. Yeah, yeah. Because I didn't get down there until just before midnight after tallying everything up. And when we do the loose stone gemstone sales, it takes a long time to gather up all that stuff and and bag it up for everybody because of the counting one, two, three, making the spread. The spreadsheet's really long because if there's 25 of a stone, I have 25 lines ready to fill up in case people buy them. Um, so yeah, we didn't start watching anything until and Andrew was still cooking, making those pot stickers, which was really good. May says, I think it's going on the next grocery list. Yeah, get them. Hey, Leslie, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Um, he says, the other brands they tested, I am not familiar with. Yeah, we've had a lot of different brands of chicken nuggets. Um, because we used to make snack wraps. I don't know why we haven't done that in a while with chicken. Probably because they don't have the brand we like anymore. But we used to make snack wraps using the chicken nuggets, and so we would try all different kinds. Not chicken nuggets. No, they're not real chicken nuggets. Faux chicken nuggets. Andrew says dinner took an exceptionally long time to make. Yeah, it did. Like I said, he made his own kind of like pot sticker dough wrappers. He created the filling from salad, but from there was no sauce. He made his own sauce and everything for that. So it did take a while, but it was good. It was very good actually. And I just brought frozen pizzas for today. So unless you're planning to make anything else, Andrew, we have frozen pizzas at least, and salads and fruit salad. Anyway, let's get started with the show. Well, the selling part. been started, but let's get started. The selling part of the show. Let me flip this camera around. Andrew said that's also the meal you had when your heart had issues. Oh yeah, well, we had finished pizza that night actually when everything started, but we had been eating a lot of the chicken wraps, and that's the chicken wraps is really when my hives started. We were eating those, and every time I would have them, my hives would start up. So I don't know if that's maybe there were preservatives in those nuggets that I didn't know about, which is possible. I don't know. But yeah. I'm gonna cut up some more paper because I should have done that earlier, but I always flip the camera around and then but I don't need to have you watch me cut paper really either. Um but yeah, here, look at this, everybody. That's my did you see that? I made that. I hopefully will get more things back this tomorrow in my pottery class because I have a bunch of things that I had glazed, and I'm excited to get them back. This is one of the things that I got back um, the other last week. Andrew says frozen pizza sounds great. It took 2.5 hours to make dinner last night. Yeah, he was working so hard on that last night. It was delicious. I do have to say you did a good job. I really enjoyed it, but that was a lot of work for you. And I know you got frustrated with it because it wasn't working exactly the way it was supposed to work. So I figured tonight, let's just take it easy and make some pizzas. And I got the nice ones, which are like the imported from Italy, Newman's pizzas. They're supposed to have no preservatives and all that good stuff because they were on sale. Okay. Leslie says, I've been pulling back from highly processed foods. A lot different things bother me, it seems. Yeah, I have to too. I have to be careful because I have found that certain preservatives in food, which I haven't narrowed them all down, but certain ones give me hives. All I got to do is eat them and I get hives. And, or sometimes my whole lip blows up, or my both lips sometimes blow up. And so, we've been trying to eat more. If they are processed foods like these pizzas and stuff, they are better quality ones. Splurge a little bit. These are on sale, so it's good. Andrew says, one day I'll learn how to actually make dumplings without them looking so janky. Well, you don't do it very often. And I don't, I know it's always nice to do things and you want them to look a certain way, but I will say, um, I did not mind how they looked because they tasted so good. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to take a drink. All right. Hey, Kimberly says, hello, everyone. I'm in town with my son getting dinner. What are you getting for dinner? What's everybody eating tonight? What are you all eating? Um, just wondering. Just wondering. Did you have a good dinner? Did you have a good day? Not many people told me what they did today. I know Suzanne's planning to get a tattoo. What's everybody else doing? Andrew says maybe I'll ask Lacey to give me a tutorial. That'd be good, right? She'd give you a good tutorial on that. Lacey is who used to run Mountain Palace, which was a delightful um, Southern Chinese, no, Northern Chinese restaurant near us. And they closed up their restaurant to focus on, I think she does Tai Chi and various acupressure, acupuncture I forget what all they do, techniques. And yeah, the restaurant lasted a few years, and I wish they still did it. Um, but when we turned vegetarian, they didn't always have vegetarian dumplings, and um, that was sad. That was sad. But they used to make the best dumplings. They were so good. They had shrimp tacos with refried beans. Ooh, nice. Um, Probably Chipotle, says Kimberly. Nice. Len says, bad frozen fish, sweet potato fries, mixed veggies. Bad fish is no good. I hope you didn't eat bad fish. That's some tummy turbulence waiting to happen right there. Susan says we had a salad and tea ravs for dinner. What is that? I don't know what that is. Leslie said I had a veggie quiche and a salad. A lot of people making quiches lately. It's good. Anna's here. Hello, Anna. Thanks for joining us. Andrew says, I think they're mostly retired now. Are they? I haven't heard from them in a while. I haven't even seen them pop up in a while. Clay and Lacey. I miss them. Vicky's here. Hello, Vicky. So hope everyone is safe and warm tonight. Everyone's joining us. I flip the camera around and everybody starts joining. Maybe I should just start with the camera flipped around and start with the live show. Thank you all for being here, though. Norma says, I had a frozen dinner. Guy Fieri, Sloppy Joe, mac and cheese. It was just okay. I feel like I want a real dinner now. I do that sometimes like for when I was working my other job and stuff, we get frozen dinners and they sound really good and some of them are pretty good, but it's like it feels like it's never enough. Or they're often very, very salty. They definitely use salt to, enhance that taste. And sometimes it's just not quite what you're looking for. May says I made quiche 2 weeks ago. Nice. Susan says toasted ravioli, which is filled with either meat or cheese and breaded. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. Andrew says, oh, I don't have much luck with pie crust. It's probably for the best since I'd be making pies all the time. And I do love a pie. It probably is for the best because I love fruit pies. Better than cakes, better than most things. Like I'm not gonna eat. I was talking with my mom about this today. Um, Andrew's definitely kind of like a when you talk sweets, like some people like to just like practically inject that sugar. They want the sugar candies. My aunt is like that. That's more of how I am if I'm going to eat. Like I love the little sugar candies, Sour Patch Kids, gummy bears, like that kind of stuff. Some people like the cakes and pastries and that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's like Andrew will eat the candies too, but he's more like likes the cakes and my mom's like that. She's very much she talks about that when she eats dinner at night and then she's like in front of the TV and then that's what she craves. Like she's like, I could go all day without wanting any kind of sweet thing, and then suddenly I'm sitting and it is just like I'm craving cake or something like that. But I do pie is one thing that if there's pie around, I like pie. But I like fruit pies, like other like meringues and all that. I'm not so, I'm not into that as much. Um, Susan says, I like it all. I like it all. Yeah, I'm like, I do like cakes. That cake Andrew made last night was really good. I gave him some flack about that cake because he's been talking about trying to, you know, um, eat better. We've been trying to do salads more often and the fruit salads and stuff like that. And then he goes and makes a cake. But it was good. I have to admit, it was really good. Len says, I took the Southern Living from my PT waiting room for the pie crust recipe. Nice. Nice. Um, Anna says, "What about those of us that want both sweets and baked goods?" Yeah, see, some people like it all. Um, Vicky says, "I would walk through fire for a good croissant." A good croissant is that is a delicious thing. That is a good thing. I have to admit, a nice buttery, flaky croissant, you can get me with one of those too. Especially if you like, I love like croissants made into like a breakfast sandwich. A really good croissant with like some egg and cheese, delicious. Um, my mom says, "Yeah, gotta have some butter and flour with my sweets." um, Andrew says, "I can make a cake in my sleep. I can't make Sour Patch." That's true. That's true. But I think you tend toward it anyway. Like I think you would rather, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if you had the chance to eat a cake or have some Sour Patch Kids, if you had to make the choice, I feel like you would choose cake. I would probably choose the Sour Patch Kids. Maybe. Depends on the cake too. I just don't go for that as much. Norma says, "I made cupcakes that were just a can of pumpkin mixed with box spice cake mix. Just came out of the oven. I don't know yet if they turned out well." Oh, you just made them. Nice. Nice. Um, May says, "William, how were the croissants when you were in France?" When I was in France, it was a long time ago now, but they were delicious. They were delicious. um, we would get croissants, and the family I stayed with, she made her own apricot preserves from the apricot tree outside in their backyard. And we would put real butter, like good butter, on the croissants, or they had other breads too. And you would load it up, like you would load it up with butter. Like it was a nice thick serving of butter and then a nice serving of those apricot preserves. And it was so good because the bread was buttery and sweet. And then that butter just gave it that richness that cut through some of the extra sweet of the preserves and the bread. And you had that jammy, the preserves, they it wasn't a jelly. It was like there were big chunks of apricot in there. It was so good. Um, and so yes, that's that is one of the things that I really miss is just that because it was stuff that you really can't get here. The bread I feel like here is not as good. The butter is not as good. The homemade preserves, maybe you can make that, but I've never made it myself. That was just an experience that we had it almost every morning. And it was a delightful way to wake up. We'd have it with coffee. Um, it was so good. Anna says, "I already ate my ice cream for today." Andrew says, "I miss the pastries in Italy." I do too. Because we would wake up and have a coffee and pastries. And you know what? I drank caffeinated coffee in Italy and I didn't have problems. I was not as stressed out. I was not as anxious. I didn't go overboard. But yeah, and there were times I was asking for decaf too, but there were mornings I would have actual coffee and it was fine. I was okay. And the pastries were so good. Andrew says, "I ate them every day. Didn't gain any weight or break out. I starved myself here and I'm getting juicy thighs." It's true. It's true. Okay, let's get this show started. I don't even know what I polled all today, but we're going to take a look at it. We are going to take a look at it today. Let's see here. This is, let's see here. Yeah, let's do these. Oh, I didn't even pick a number. Leslie said, "Jams and preserves aren't as hard to make as you might think." Yeah, I don't think they're that hard. I just don't do it. It's not a thing. And I feel like it's always better when somebody does it for you. And especially somebody who's been doing it for a long time, they've got that down. And um, it was with good quality ingredients. Um, Andrew says, I make preserves, but you don't eat them, so I don't make them anymore. I don't know what you make. When did you make preserves? I don't remember not eating them. Let's see here. These are, let me see if I've used. No. LFT lots. We're going to do LFT. That's the number for today. And let's see here. Let me put up my banner. Y'all know how to do this. But if you'd like to purchase, take down the lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. Lizzie says, I'll send you some of my next batch of tomato jam. That sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. I'll take it. Let's see here. We had these at 14. I'll bring them down to 10. I've got 2 strands of these available. These are a vintage check glass. And these are like an opalescent pink. And they're a bicone. And they are about 9 millimeters by 15. Andrew says, there's literally a container of sangria marmalade in the fridge that is untouched. I don't even know what sangria marmalade. I don't remember that. I don't remember making it. I don't remember it being there. I don't know. Maybe I didn't know. Did I know? Did I know you made it? I don't even know what sangria marmalade is. Marmalades in general, that might be why it's called marmalade. I don't care for marmalade that much. I'm not a marmalade. I've tried it. My boss used to import English marmalades, and I was never a fan of a marmalade. And it says, ooh, I love the rosewater opalescent glass. They glow. They do. They're really pretty. And there are 2 of these available. Let me get up my email here so I can see if anybody's buying some stuff. Hopefully y'all like some stuff that we show you today. And let's see here. Oh, Susan sent the link to listen to her friend's radio station, crstl.fm. Crystal, crstl.fm on the web, crstl.fm, www.crstl.fm. Nice. That's awesome. Love to listen. Everybody else, check it out too. Andrew says, if I make stuff and you don't eat it, I don't make it again. I know you don't. Oh, I know. I'm well aware. I can't make them if I think I might want something ever in the future, I have to make sure whether I'm in the mood for it or not to eat it when you make it. May says, watching Paddington made me crave marmalade. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about marmalade. It's that bitterness. There's a bitterness to it. Not a fan. And I do like bitter things, but yeah, I don't know. Marmalade, I don't know. Okay. All right. This is LFT2. This was 55. I'll take it down to 50. I cannot go lower, and I'm only taking it down this one time. He says, I found one that was good. I forgot the brand name. Andrew says, plus the time to make a lot of preserves is when things are farm fresh in the summer, early fall, and that's usually our busy time. That's true too. That is true. We used to garden more before the store, and now we barely have the time to do it. This is a really cool lampwork glass piece. Hearst's hand-blown glass, Mike Hurst. You can see, used to be $55. That was the original price. I'm doing it for $50. It's this very cool lampwork glass eye. Look at how awesome. What an amazing pendant that is. I could see that going with some really like some neon apatite. Throw in some amethyst maybe, or I don't know. There's lots of things that could go with that. What's the one I'm thinking of? Iolite, some iolite in there. Get it? Iolite. Add some black, some sardonyx or onyx in there. Beautiful colors. There, add some garnets with it. There's so many colors you could pull out of that and play around with. And this is approximately 44 millimeters by 42. 44 by 42. Oh, I smell Andrew making coffee. I'm getting coffee wafting up into here. I heard Barnaby out in front of my door. He was crying. I think it was Barnaby. He was crying for me out there. Poor Barn. I barely got to see him today. Got to spend some time with my boy. Silver. LFT3. Let's see. Bon maman is delicious, says Andrew. Plus, they supposedly hid Jewish people during the Holocaust. I have heard that. Bon maman. This is an Amy Johnson lampwork glass button with a little skull. Amy Johnson button, a little skull, and it is about 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters. One of those available was $20. Bring it down to 18 for y'all tonight. LFT 3. The apricot preserves we got on sale at the grocery store in Italy were dang good. Yeah, everything there was so good. Everything there was so good. Kimberly says, if I wasn't driving, I'd be sending an email. I want that. Send that email. Send that email. I know you're driving. Don't send an email when you're driving. Hopefully it's still left for when you get back. Norma says, I love the Bon Maman red currant jelly. It's gotten difficult to find here, though. Oh. Four. Kimberly, do you really, are you talking about LFT3 as in that, or are you talking about LFT2? If you really want it, I will set it aside for you. Just make sure you send an email later. I'll take it off the board if you do really want it. That's why we don't do comments, because people will say, I want things, but they don't always mean it. But if you really mean it, I can take it off the board as long as you promise to send an email later. Andrew says, I like Stonewall preserves too. They used to sell them at Amica. Oh, yeah. I remember those. They sell those still somewhere around here, I think. Let's see. Why did I take this out of here? I didn't mean to take this out of here. Tell your son, Kimberly, send that email. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've only got 9 of these left. They were 18. We'll do. They were 18. We'll do 15 on these each. Stonewall's the one with the green label, right? Green label and lids. I feel like I just saw those somewhere in a shop around here, or wherever we were, somewhere. These are Neon Appetite, and they are microfaceted rondelles. Kimberly says, "Oh, my son is commenting for me." Well, let me know if you truly want it, unless you're just saying I want it. I know some people just say I want it, but they don't really want it. If you really want it, I'll set it aside for you. Green lids and like tan labels. Yeah, I just saw those somewhere. I forget where. Andrew says, train them up right. Send emails for mama, right? That's right. That's right. So these are Neon Appetite. And these are about 2.5 millimeters. Only $15 a strand. I bet things are like these are going to get more expensive, or else strands are going to get shorter. That's what seems to happen. It says, I really want LFT2. So the I, LFT2. I wasn't sure if it was 2 or 3. LFT2. All right. I will set that aside. We will consider LFT2 sold. Just please send the email later today. What did I do that for? I don't need, I got another bag. I don't need another bag. I've got a bag for that. Right here. That eye is pretty dang awesome. Good catch. Good catch on that. All right. Here's LFT4s. And LFT5. These were 18. I'll do 15 on these each. Let me see how many of these I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's 10 of these. 10 of these. LFT5. These are, oops. Wow. These are garnets. Beautiful garnet. Faceted rounds, microfaceted. Gorgeous color on these. Garnet, microfaceted rounds, coming in at about 2.5 millimeters again, same as the Appetite. And 10 strands of those available, also $15 a stand. I saw Andrew wrote, got some delicious frog jam, and I was thinking about sometimes we get that at fruit stands so, on our travels. Oh, good. Got your email. Thank you so much. Andrew says, I stopped at the side of the road at a rest stop and made myself a jam sandwich because I got some delicious frog jam when I went to the folk school. That one didn't even make it home. Ah, I see. We've gotten frog jam on a fruit stand along the where were we driving when we picked that up? Was that down in North Carolina or South Carolina? I remember that too. LFT6. This is LFT6. Was 15. Now it's 10. Said stopped and sent an email. LOL. That's funny. Thank you. Okay. This is a bleached betel nut strand. Bleached betel nut strand. Betel nut drops. Super cool. Only one strand. This is a vintage strand. Only got one of these available. Isn't that cool? Frog is figs, raspberries, oranges, and grapes. Says we were in Bat Cave. Where's Bat Cave? I remember that name. These are approximately 9 millimeters by 13 and a half. 9 by 13 and a half. Bleached betel nut strand was 15, now 10 for you all. One strand available. Look at those markings. So pretty. Okay, let's make some room. Since these have such long tails on them, I'm going to put one away. That's that opalescent rose glass. LFT1, $10 each, still available. Nobody grabbed those. 2 has been purchased. 3 is the Amy Johnson button just outside of Ashland. That's what I thought it was, somewhere in the Carolinas. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And let's see here. I'll just put these out. So I'm going to move these over. Okay. LFT7. Let's hold. What's this? Let's do these. These are Amazonite beads, high quality vintage Amazonite. There are 2 of these available. They are $5 each. Beautiful quality on these. 23 by 37 millimeters. It is a nice pair. It'd be a beautiful pair for $10. Gorgeous stones. Great quality. 2 of them available. Andrew says, I also stopped in a town in Georgia, but you weren't there. It rolled under the seat in the van. I was so bummed when I thought I forgot it, and I was far enough that it didn't make sense to turn around. Andrew says, I was delighted when I found it, and it was still good. Andrew said, those are nice big pieces, right? They are. They're really nice pieces. Found those digging around at the cottage. Really pretty. Norma says, I have toe jam, tangerine, orange, and elderberry. Oh, that sounds good too. Sounds terrible, but also sounds good, right? When you call it toe jam. But that's funny. I found this bead. Andrew says, I'd probably make a wire frame to look like a window. That'd be cool. I found this bead. Um, I will do 4 on it. This is a hollow glass bead. Really cool. Beautiful, kind of yellow, black, almost yellow green, like a spring, kind of like that spring green color. About 15 millimeters by 30, 15 by 30. Faceted. It's weird to see hollow glass faceted. I don't see it like that very often. $4, 1 bead available. LFT 8. Andrew says they always have such interesting and horrifying names. Toe jam. Who wants some toe jam? All right. Let's see here. These are, I was going to do this by the strand, but I think I'll just sell these. Oh, Andrew says that's an artisan bead, but I can't remember who made it. Then that's not a high enough price then. It was not in a bag that made me think that it was an artisan bead. What should I price that at, Andrew? That doesn't seem like enough then. There's a group of Boro boys, and honestly, I don't know who made what. Let's see here. Well, let me try. Maybe I will try selling this by the strand. And then if it doesn't go by the strand, maybe we'll break it down into beads. If anyone is interested in buy the bead. This is considered turquoise jasper. Turquoise jasper. I'm doing this at $18 for the strand. Andrew says, just leave it tonight. Okay, I will leave it. Turquoise jasper. These are beautiful beads. $18 for the strand. These are 20 by about 27.5 millimeters. Look at the colors. So pretty. Now, if nobody buys this by the strand, I will look. There's like pinks and yellows and blues. And this is basically a giveaway at that price. This one, yeah, basically. LFT 9, $18 for that strand. Oh. Okay. And let's see what's next. And LFT 10, I have this shorty strand of pre-night. Beautiful vintage pre-night ovals. $10. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 beads on the strand. I was going to do these as individual beads too, but I figure I'll try just doing it by this short strand because this is really pretty. And I think somebody might be able to use more than just a few of those. Beautiful pre-night ovals, and they are approximately 10.5 by 14 millimeters. LFT 10. Okay. Now I have, whoa, keep wanting to fall off the strand. I have this open strand of these because these are Chalcedony green drops. Oops, green Chalcedony, faceted drops, and I've got this strand of them, and I'm going to do those for $1 a drop, $1 each. I have about 30 of them or so. I'm just going to put 30 on there. That's going to be a long spreadsheet, but they're really pretty drops. And instead of making you spend a bunch of money on the big strand, you can get a few little drops. If you want $1 each, vintage Chalcedony. And these are approximately we'll say 9.7 by 6. So about 10 by 6 millimeters. And they are $1 each for those drops. LFT 11. Okay, let me put away the neon apatite. Anderson, those are really lovely. They are. And I'm going to put away the garnets. Nobody grabbed any of the garnets. Really pretty. And then I'm going to put away the bleached beetle nut. I can't believe I love those. Look how cool they are. All right, I'll put them away. Let's see here. We just sold close to half of the LFT 11s. Thank you so much. If you'd like to grab any of those, grab them while they're there. These are the $5 a piece Amazonite large pendants or earrings. They're not very heavy because they're very thin. I could see those as earrings too. They'd be beautiful. LFT 8, the artisan hollow glass bead, only $4 because I didn't realize it was artisan. So there you go. Andrew's leaving it at that price tonight. LFT 9, nobody's grabbed this yet. Is anybody interested in these? Is anybody interested in these separately? Would anybody like any of the LFT 9 separately? I'll cut the strand up and reprice them if somebody's interested, since nobody's grabbed the strand yet. LFT 10 is the pre-night. Nice quality, really nice quality pre-night. And then the LFT 11 are these drops. We've sold about half of those. Andrew says, I want a strand of the garnets. I'm going to try and stitch with them. Okay. We'll make sure. Nobody's grabbed them yet, so. Okay, where am I here? LFT 12? Oh, anybody reading anything good lately? Any book suggestions? I need to finish my book. I'm reading, I think, what is it? Under the Whispering Door. I'm still reading that. And I haven't gotten through much of it lately, and I need to get back to it. I've been going to sleep too exhausted. I only read it in the bedroom And if I'm too tired, I don't even read at night. And that's what's been happening. I thought these were cool. Okay. Um, Andrew says, I tried to listen to those books, but I don't like the narrator. Oh, that's sad because I was thinking about, I was like, I'm not getting very far on this actual book. I wonder if I should get the audiobook, but I guess not because I probably wouldn't like the narrator either. These are beautiful quartz. What is it? Hematoid quartz with the red inside. Hematoidal quartz. They're $5 each. They're beautiful pieces. And I love the red inside of them. Look at that. And they're really nice. Like, there's inclusions, of course, but the clarity in some places is really, really nice on those. Andrew says, maybe you would like it. They're available on Libby. Oh, okay. Maybe I should do that. I should try at least. But I've liked sitting down to read. It helps me when when I can't fall asleep. Lately, I have not, thankfully, had much of a problem. I've been falling asleep pretty fast, pretty hard and fast. These are cool. I found these hidden too. I had no idea we even had these. Um, let's see, what can I do on these? We had these ones like these the other day. We had 12 on them, I think, but I'll do these for 8. I only got this one strand. And these are tube beads. And they're black agate tubes. So it's a whole strand. And this is a vintage strand. Black agate tubes. I love the tube beads. And these are about 4 millimeters by about 13 long. 4 by 13. Andrew says the one with the kids and narrator, the one with the kids, and the narrator tries to do the voices sounds ridiculous, like straight up goofy, and I know they're doing it for comic relief, but it grated on my nerves. I don't know. The one I have does not have kids in it, at least not yet. Not to the point I've gotten to. LFT 14. All right. These were 20 each. I will bring them down to 18. I can't go any lower than that on these. These are, I believe, an ancient carnelian. Old carnelian. There are 2 of them available. Pretty big holes through them. And there's a larger one and a smaller one. You can pick if you want which one you'd like, or else we'll pick for you. This one has less of kind of the black inclusions in it, more of the white. It's a little bit more translucent. This one's a little bit darker, more opaque with the black inclusions. Just depends which one you like. This one is 21 by 35. And this one is 25 by 44. There you go. LFT 14. Hi, Luz. Are y'all still out there? I hope I didn't lose. I haven't seen any YouTube comments come through in quite some time. Oh, Andrew says, oh, it's a different narrator. Hallelujah. Oh, so maybe I can get it. That would be good. The numbers dropped quickly, and then I have not seen anybody on YouTube in a while. Is anybody out there? Oh, Norma. Okay. Thank you. Because I was like, what is going on? Andrew says, hallelujah, same author. The author is the narrator? Is that what you mean? Or just that the one with the kids was the same author? Yeah, I haven't read any of the other. It's that TJ Klune. Is that right? Len is lurking. Thank you. May is cooking. Susan's here. There we go. Numbers are jumping back up. Sometimes I feel like I definitely know when people haven't talked for a while, our numbers go down. It's like a timeout thing or something. I don't know why it does that. These are little carnelians, and we'll do these at $1 each. And I have multiples. I don't know how many, but I'll just put multiples. These are kind of like the little jaspers we had yesterday. They're that kind of rough cut shape. Anna's here. Nice. Says, no, it's the same as the House of the Cerulean Sea. Yeah. Those ones are about an orphanage of children with gifts. Oh. Yeah, so far this one's about the guy who died and has been taken to some kind of afterworld cafe so far as all I can tell, but I haven't gotten very far on it yet. Oh, I just got a weird sharp pain in my temple. That's wonderful. Very strange. So these are carnelian. They are drilled through the center. And they're these beautiful little, you can see they're all different kind of square-ish, trapezoidal, is that the word? Trapezoidal shapes. About 10 by 10.5 millimeters. And they're $1 each. May's cooking but listening. Leslie's still here. Good. Thank you. Susan's here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let me put away 7 are these. Ooh, it's a weird feeling. I'm getting in my temple. It's not delightful, that's for sure. All right, and then where's my bag for this one? Andrew says, the narrator is a grown man who tries to do prepubescent voices. I thought it was the same narrator for the one you're reading, but thankfully it's not. Oh, I see what you mean. So it's not the same narrator. Nobody said they wanted these individually, so I'm going to put the whole strand away. T9. And let me get another bag here. Oh, this one. Oh, T10. And I'll put 11 away as well. Andrew says, if you need to stop, stop. I think I'm okay. I think so. It's kind of easing up. That was a weird feeling, though. Okay, let's move these up. It says, don't need to be a widow because you're trying to sell $4 beads. No, let's not do that. Marion says, I am amongst the lurkers. I'm currently reading The Children of Gods and Fighting Men. What is that about? Is it a history thing? I know you like your history stuff. Children of Gods and Fighting Men. So let's move these up. LFT 16. We'll see how Mayhead does. If not, maybe I'll call it a 20 tonight. Try and get to there though. Ooh, I love these. Ooh, this guy. 4 of these. Okay, LFT 16 are these awesome hematite cubes. Beautiful hematite cubes. These are great for spacers. I love using these in like in bracelets. And I think a cube shape, like a metallic cube, is always a great shape to have around, because it just gives a different look to things. I need to take some of these to the shop because I know I got to remember to keep these out. I know some of our regulars up there would love these. So metallic hematite cubes, if they don't sell, if I'll sell tonight. 4mm cubes. They were 18 a strand. I'll take them down to 14 for y'all tonight. 4 of them available. Vintage, real hematite. Not the fake stuff. Not the fake stuff. Let's see. Don't fall. Dangerous up here again. I cleaned everything out and then I made a mess again. Marion says, sort of set in Viking era Ireland. Fantasy in that some of the characters are Tuatha, Danan, and Fomorians, historical figures amongst the Vikings. Okay, I have no idea who that is, but nice. I feel like I should know more about Vikings since apparently I'm descended from them. I know a lot of people probably are, but my aunt did her DNA once and we found out we were for sure. And I've never done more research than that. This is a very cool strand of beads. I will do it for a simple $8 tonight. Kimberly's home. Welcome home. Welcome home. We've sold LFT 8. Somebody picked that one up. That was that artisan blown glass, hollow glass bead. Andrew says, I've got a stack I'm working through. The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab, The Love Elixir, the Love Elixir by Augusta Stern. Oh no, The Love Elixir of Augusta Stern by Linda Cohen Longman, and The Song of the Blue Bottle Tree by India Hayford. Len says, I am reading Jackie Keswick's Power of Zero series. Susan says, I have some Viking DNA as well. Nice. The Tuatha are fairies and Fomorians their enemies, says Marianne. Oh, nice. LFT 17. Are we in the side of the fairies or their enemies? Whose side are we on? These are glass beads. Get some of these little, I think these are, I don't think these are metal. I think these are plastic. But these are the ones we're looking at here. These beautiful lentil shape with the silver foil, red beads, $8 for that strand. You get 4 of the glass beads on the strand. LFT 17, $8. Andrew says the Tuatha De Danann are a race of fairy people who live under the hills. Marianne says, I got to go with the Vikings. Oh, okay. On the side of the Vikings. I don't know. Is that the right side? Is that the side to be on? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Let's skip that for a moment because I think I want to take that apart later. This was 60. I'm going to do it at 48 tonight. One of these left. Andrew said the fairies in a lot of the old stories were not nice. Yeah, I've heard that. This says they would basically abduct people and torture them. So probably not good to be on their side. Not if they're going around doing that. This is a beautiful strand of apatite, mixed apatite. So you've got a light kind of blue-green, you've got a yellow, back into the blue-green, a little bit of neon, and more of the yellow, and then the green. So and these are kind of rectangular shape. So these are beautiful apatite beads. Got a great mix there. And there is only one strand available. It comes on a sterling silver. See, there's that 925, bright and plain right there for you. Sterling silver lobster claw and extender chain. They come already strung up. If you want to wear them, you can wear them. If you want to take them apart, take them apart. We're selling them pretty much price for the strand, not as a completed necklace, so that you don't feel guilty if you want to rip it apart and do something with it. So it's $48, LFT 18, and these beads are approximately 5.5 by, let's see if I can grab one here. 5.5 by about 7. It's LFT 18. Let's see here. Oh, looks like my comments may have stopped working because I see some. And the Fomorians were a full degree worse than the Tuatha. So Vikings really weren't so bad by comparison, says Marianne. Well, all right. Then we're going with the Vikings. All right. Let's see whose side we're on this LFT 19 in these stories, right? Yeah, my comments just seem to stop working. Okay. This was 65. I will take it down to 52. 52, one of my all-time favorite stones. I know Len likes this one too. Andalusite. Beautiful Andalusite. Faceted rondelles, also graduated faceted rondelles on a sterling chain. I had this one in my personal stash for a while. I brought it out to see if anybody wants it because I haven't done anything with them yet. If nobody takes them, it will go back into there, not to be seen for a while again. These are really beautiful Andalusite, faceted, we'll call them rondelles. Glenn says that's a great price. It certainly is a great price. $52 only, especially prices now. I can't even imagine what this strand would cost to purchase it now. We've had it in our collection for a little while. You can see how they change from like a brown to a green color in different light. Beautiful stone. I just love this stone. It's about 3 millimeters and at the largest, about 5. 3 to 5 millimeter faceted rondelles. LFT 19. One strand available. I was going to do more loose beads tonight, but I haven't done it. Because I thought I was going to take apart more strands, but I didn't get a chance to do that yet. So we'll probably do more loose stuff tomorrow. Let's see here. LFT 20. We'll do 36. Now we'll take it down to 28. Let me see here. Yeah, all my comments stopped. So let me go over here and refresh on the computer to see people are commenting that I'm missing now. Oh, there Andrew says, I mean, we're not great as a species either. No, we are not. No, we are not. I'm going to turn the comments off on the screen because you can't see them anyway. Leslie says those are beautiful. Yes, they are. Thank you. Thank you. And this is LFT 20. Gorgeous tourmaline chips. Beautiful chip strand, $28, down from $36. Andrew says the Fomorians from mythology were giants and elementals who were often forces of nature and were oftentimes destructive. All right, so those are beautiful chips, tourmaline, and they are about 5.5 millimeters. All right. And I think I'm going to end it here a little bit early tonight, y'all. I'm still having a little pain in my head. So I'm going to call it a night. So thank you all for hanging out with us. And we will be back here tomorrow at about 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern time for Wednesdays before my pottery class. And we'll see you then, hopefully. Those of you who can hang out, if you can't, please do catch the replay anytime tomorrow. And also, don't forget we have some items in the D stash. I haven't checked that today. I haven't been able to sit down and check that today yet to see if anybody claimed any more, but there are items in Andrew Thornton Project D stash. I think it's facebook.com/group/Andrew Thornton D stash, and you can see lots of good things. We have some rocks and crystals in there, as well as gemstones and strands and all that. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. You can claim them right there on the timeline, and I'll go through an invoice. And also, if you are in Johnstown, please remember that we are going to continue our rock and mineral sale this weekend. So if you missed it last weekend, there's still time. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer this weekend, so we hope you'll come out and grab some things then. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you back here in the afternoon tomorrow. Bye, everybody.